later on in life?
Photos like these, proudly displayed in the living room, speak volumes of the joy in welcoming one's children into life. However, for Stephen and Lillian, these pictures tell a different story. A story of how two babies fought for their lives. It was every parent's worst nightmare. It had been a normal pregnancy up to the night Lillian discovered she was bleeding. She checked into the hospital and discovered that the blood wasn't hers.
It's just very bad. That's what I was told. When they took them out from me, then I found out that, oh, they were losing blood through me.
The twins were bleeding through their umbilical cords into the placenta and out through Lillian. Samuel came out of the womb first. Despite being a little blue, he had a good heartbeat. Oliver, on the other hand, was white and almost lifeless.
In Oliver's case, what were the key challenges in trying to keep him alive those first few days, first few weeks?
Frankly, it was actually a touch and go, for Oliver. His lungs weren't working well. So at one stage, we had to do the breathing for him, and despite giving him 100% oxygen, he was still not getting enough oxygen in his blood. So it was very dicey. His blood pressure was low, so we had to give him a lot of medication to make sure his heart is beating well. And his kidneys had failed because they had lost so much blood that he needed to be on a lot of medication to ensure that he was producing urine.
The hardest decision for Oliver's parents to make was whether they should put him through dialysis because his little kidneys were just not functioning.
On the sixth day after he was born, his kidneys started to function. Little by little it started to function because we could see his stopped peeing blood. His blood the pee became slightly diluted Ribena instead of fresh blood. So it started to get better from there.
While Samuel won his battle in 7 days and was discharged, Oliver's fight for his life in the neonatal intensive care unit continued.
How important is NICU care to the well-being of the baby subsequently?
If the baby comes in, they are prone to a lot of complications. These problems can be minimized or prevented to a certain extent, and that depends on how we look after the babies. So if we're able to avoid all these potential pitfalls, then the baby would be much better once they're older. So what we do at the beginning impacts on the rest of his life.
With Singapore enjoying one of the highest levels of NICU care in the world, the survival rate is amongst one of the highest. The multidisciplinary care in the NICU ensures that premature babies get dedicated and specialized care when needed. Experienced nurses, backed up with up-to-date technology, play a vital role when monitoring round the clock.
We were so dependent on the NICU nurses on what to do, how much to give them, how to bathe them.
The nurses did a very, very good job. They really took good care of them. I mean, it's just not being just changing diapers and all that, and bathing them, changing their tubes, putting in correct medication and all that. It's also the TLC. We talk about the tender loving care. The way they actually stroke them inside and carry them with so much love, because babies respond when you give love to them. They will naturally not fight to live, because that's inherent in most humans.
Oliver fought his way through 35 days in the neonatal intensive care unit and was finally reunited with his brother at home. 3 years down the road, Oliver and Samuel have no hint of what they had gone through when they were born, thanks to the vigilance on the part of their parents and the subsequent follow-up visits to the doctor.
What are some of the things that you have done to manage his health issues since birth to now?
What we needed to do with Oliver was that he needs to be on long-term medication for his kidneys. And his parents were very good in ensuring that he takes his medication. They understood the importance of that. they needed to ensure that Oliver doesn't get dehydrated.
Oliver is currently on medication for his kidneys. These days, Oliver sees Dr. Cheng every 3 months. He has to undergo blood tests to make sure his kidneys are functioning well.
In fact, he's so prone to the blood test that he will just lie there and let the doctor just prick him. No tear. He's so used to that. And it's something that you shouldn't be used to for a little boy.
Oliver may be smaller than his brother Samuel, but in terms of development, he is on par with other 3-year-olds. The Talents are determined to let Oliver lead as normal a life as possible. They, however, take slightly more precautions with Oliver.
Speed of intervention of any form of sickness that may come is very critical in Oliver's case, because if he falls ill very, very fast, and he deteriorates very, very fast. So we are always on the constant lookout. If he should show signs of being infected with something, we will be calling Dr. Cheng up to have a look at him and straight away intervene if necessary.
Can premature babies go on to lead normal lives?
That's our hope, that eventually they will catch up with their peers and be normal in terms of height and weight and development. That's our long-term goal, that we try to manage them as best as possible, make sure they get enough nutrition, make sure that they take their medication and avoid any complications that can set them back again.
As I took my leave after meeting Oliver and Samuel, we took some pictures together. A picture of these 2 lives fought and won. A picture of triumph. After their journey